everybody, I'm Corinne Blackstone and welcome to my computer. I wanted to give you guys a tour of Design Space Beta today. If you don't know what beta is, it's basically where Design Space will put kind of new things they're trying out, new layouts and things like that. So on Wednesday, we had a tour of Design Space Live, and today we're going to do a tour of Design Space Beta. It's in a little bit of a disarray at the moment, but I do think that they are kind of bringing back a little bit more of what we're used to and where our menu items are. But I want to be sure to show you where everything is because it is quite different than the live version. Now be sure that you're subscribed to YouTube before we get started. That way you don't miss out on any of the fun, crafty content we have coming. Without further ado, let's head over into Design Space and I'm going to show you around. Welcome to a new tour of Cricut Design Space because the beta version is currently different than the live, and this can definitely happen, but let me show you really quick how you can switch between beta and live. Go under your name and go under settings, and then right here under general, you'll see application experience. Now beta is going to have like the most recent or things that they're trying out and changing versions. So currently if you're running live, you're probably seeing the first tour that I gave you on Wednesday. But if we're running the beta, you're going to see the tour that I have today. You can also check where your version is and all of that right here too. So great little section. But I'm going to go ahead and click done. Now I just pulled up a random image. This is just an image that has a bunch of different like settings to it so that we can see where everything is and like where everything kind of moved to. So you'll notice that currently there is no edit button anymore here on your Design Space options. Don't freak out. Don't worry. We've got all the options here so we can show you where everything is. The first one here is going to be your operation. Now mine says multiple because my design is grouped. So let me go ahead and ungroup it so that you can see all of our different options. I have it set here to basic cut, and then there's also some drawing options on this one. But let me go ahead and set a couple of these to some different things. So I'm going to set one of the spirals to print and cut. Let's set another spiral to score, and that way you can just get an idea of the different settings. Now, I'm sorry, you're probably hearing my dog's tags in the background. She's refusing to sit down, so I'm so sorry if that's annoying. Believe me, it's annoying here too. But I really wanted to make sure to get this information out to you as quickly as possible. So you'll see now that I've got all of these different things. So I can grab one of my layers and we'll just take the spiral. And you can see here that we have at the top your operation, which again is where you can change from like basic cut, draw, print and cut, or the guide. We also still have our square here, which is where we can change the material colors. So you can change it to whatever you want it to be. But one of the big things is this size option now. So rather than having like your width and your height up at the top of your screen, you now have to click size to access that. And I gotta say, absolutely hate that. Cricut, I know you're watching. I know you watch everything I do. Please don't make us have to click to see the size of our project. Yes, I can see it in that little green box, but I really would rather see it at the top all the time. But this is where you can adjust your size. You can also, of course, adjust it like you always could using the little pull tabs, but that is where your size is. This is also where your scale lock button is. Now also up here at the top, you have your flip, which you can flip horizontal, you can flip vertical, all those things. You also have your arrange option, which is where you can move it forward, backward, to front, or to back. And then it also has the X and Y positions under this arrange, which again, I did prefer those up at the top. Cricut, there's still quite enough space up here where you could put those back at the top where we want them. So if you want to move it on the X and Y axis, which are these numbers up here at the top, if you guys remember like middle school math, maybe even in elementary school math when we did some of this, the X and Y axis is just going to move it. So if I change this to X1, well, okay, X10, sure, because I can't type, and I change this to Y1, you'll see that it moves that spiral so that it's at the 10 marker and the 1 marker. Now, we do also have a line, and if I grabbed everything off this design, I can choose a line. You see you have the top, left, vertical, horizontal, bottom, right. Then you have the distribute vertically, and I totally just touched my screen. Sorry about that. You have the distribute vertical and distribute horizontal, and that just makes everything even. We also have our rotate option here where we can rotate our design however we want. We can do it with the little grab bar here, which looks like we're having a disco, or you can also do it here where you can tell it how much you want it to rotate. Now, this is the one that I think a lot of people are going to miss, is the effects button. This is where you're going to find your offset, your sticker, and your warp feature. So if I want to make an offset to this, it's under here, and it works all exactly the same way as it used to, where you can just make your offset and click apply. But look, now we have a weld offset option. So I'm going to go ahead and just click apply and see what that does. That's really weird, and I think it's because we do have that score line. So I'm going to change this over to a basic cut really quick and just kind of mess with that just to see what happens. I'm going to change the color of it. I'm sorry, my dog is jumping on me. I'm going to change the color of it just so you can see it better. But you can see you can work with an offset really easily, just like before. Now, also under effects is that sticker option, which is where you can create those borders and those die cuts. Again, I still don't recommend the sticker option. It does not work well because you're really limited to your cut settings. It's where you can change, if you have a border, your thickness, your border colors, cut the interior shapes, all those things, and you can undo the sticker as well. And then again, you have that warp feature, which if you click that, you can kind of mess with it. And you can actually warp images now, which is kind of nice. I don't want to do that, and it's in the way, but if I scooch it over, you can see that it's warping my design. So I can just undo that as well. And then we also have the combine feature now here at the top, and you'll see that we have combine down here too. It's literally the same thing. So again, why do we need it in two places when we could have size or the X and Y axis up here at the top, much more accessible? Again, Cricut, I implore you, get rid of the combine up here. We don't need it. It's useless, really. It's the same thing that we have down at the bottom. We don't need it twice. So anyways, this is going to have your slice and your weld and your flatten, unite, subtract, intersect, and exclude. Now, we also have one more option, but I have to make sure I select something that can actually be worked with in that way. So I'm going to grab the spiral right here, which is our offset. They just titled it spiral. And I'm going to use the contour option. Now, the contour option is just like the one, again, down here at the bottom of your layers panel. You can see contours right there. And it's where you can remove and add parts to your design. So if I click this and I click apply, you'll see that now the offset's away from that spiral. But again, you also have that option down here at the bottom too, and it's exactly the same, does the exact same thing. Same with that combine option. It's all the same. We have weld, unite, subtract, intersect, and exclude. You also have attach down here at the bottom, which you can do, and that's going to keep everything in place. So the tour for this one, it's all pretty much the same. It's just that they've moved everything to the top, and I do think they're on the right track. But Cricut, please, I want my sizing back. I want to be able to see that at all times. I don't want to have to click this, because then if I click away, I can't click it again. And I can't see it at the same time. So if I wanted to change the size of this, yes, I could use these, sure. But I also would have to click over here if I wanted to make an exact one. So say I want to make it 4 inches. I click that and I'm like, I don't know if that's right. I got to move it. Let me see if I like the way it's sized against things. Okay, maybe I don't like that. Maybe I want to change it. I got to click size again. So not great. Now, if you're going to work with text, I'm going to open up the text so that you can see this as well. We'll just type in my name. Let me go ahead and just get rid of the sheep. We'll just hide him. I'm going to group him real quick and hide him just so he's out of the way. So text here, they've again moved things around a little bit, but it's very similar to what it was prior to the last update. I think they did actually listen. So it is proof that occasionally they listen. So again, you're going to be able to change your operation over here, and it's just going to list the whatever it's on. It's not going to say operation anymore. You also can change your colors. So if you want to change it to green or red or purple, whatever you want to do. But also you have your font selection here. Now, again, it is going to open up that side window. And I got to be honest, I don't mind the side window when I'm choosing text, because it doesn't pull that menu down where you can't see. Everything else is here is in the same section where you've got the different Cricut, the system, the recent, and the bookmarked, and you can kind of go through and choose whatever font you want. You also then have a font size, which for fonts, I typically will just move them this way versus using this font sizing. Font sizing for me just isn't something that I need, but you can see you do have the option to do it. So if I want to change it to a font size of 10,009 or whatever. Maybe I want to change it to a font size of 100. Well, okay. I must have accidentally deleted it, so we'll just add it back. Sometimes I do that. I hit the wrong button. But you can change it. So now it's a font size of 72. I can change it to 100. Now, see here is where it's like something on your canvas is too small to cut successfully. We suggest resizing it. Well, no crap, because you guys didn't let me finish typing. So if you type that in, but like I've noticed, this is going to get really annoying really quickly. It again deleted it as I was trying to change the sizing. So that may be something that we need to let Cricut know about, because if we don't, they won't know that it's a problem. Now, I will show you how to send feedback as well. So if you go into your name here and you go report issue, you can send feedback here. Now, I'm blocking out my email, but your email will be up here at the top. You can add a title, and we'll call it text issue, and you can select your category. For this, I would say Canvas text. When changing text size, the warning about too small to cut comes up as soon as you type in a number under the text size option. This is causing the text to not only disappear, but also causing issues designing. Now you can take like screenshots and stuff, and you can attach a file, all that stuff, but then all you have to do is hit submit, and it'll submit your feedback. So if you're having that issue, let them know, because they'll fix that. If they'll fix that, they'll fix that. So let me go ahead and add my text back in for the third time. And this time we're not messing with that stupid thing. We're just not doing it. Now, again, here's another issue. It's all of a sudden, and this is not my mouse, this is Design Space doing this. I'm not clicking to create a box. I want my text. So I may need to restart, and I will send them feedback about this issue too. Let's go ahead and try again with the text. Again, we're just going to add that in. I tell you, this is just, it would be great if I typed my name right. I'm just going to go ahead and leave it as Cricut Sans. It doesn't matter. We already showed you how to change that. The other thing you have here is your regular bold, bold italic, writing italic, I can't speak, and writing. So some fonts are going to have these writing options. Those are going to be under Cricut fonts, but you do have a lot of options there. We also have the alignment, which if I click on it, you can left align, center, and right align. And then you also have the format, which is where you can get your letter spacing, your line spacing, your text wrapping, your text box aligning, and then you can ungroup. Now with this one, I only can ungroup to letters right now, but if I had multiple lines, I could ungroup to lines, and then you can ungroup it to layers. There's lots of different options here for your text, but it's all going to be under format. Now, again, the size option is under size, which again should be up here at the top. There's plenty of space. You also, again, have flip, where you flip horizontal and flip vertical. Your arrange, which is forward, backward, front, and back, plus the X and Y axis position. And you have your align tools if I had multiple things on the screen. So like if I duplicate this, I'll just make two, and I had multiple things on the screen, I could go to the align tool here, and I could align it horizontally, whatever I wanted to do. Now, one thing I will say that is weird is that you can't grab the align tool, but when you grab both of them, the align tool moves way over here. It's a little strange, but whatever. You also, again, have rotate, where you can rotate your design. And then you have the effects, which again is offset, sticker, warp. And when you have text, your curve option is now under your effects option. So if you want to curve your text, you can click that, and then you just simply curve your text based on this. You also have those combine options over here, which right now it won't let me do any of them because I just have one layer selected on my lit panel. But again, we have slice, weld, flatten, unite, subtract, intersect, and exclude. And again, you'll see that you have all of those options down here at the bottom as well. But you'll notice that I can't even click on it down here, but I can up here, and I can use the flatten option because for some reason up here, they have combine and flatten. And then down here, flatten is its own option. Same with this attach button. I can attach from down there, but I can't from up here. It's very strange the way they have this laid out. I do think more improvements will be coming. And if they do big major changes, I will come on and update another tour for you guys. But I just want you to note that this currently is running in the beta. And you can tell if you're on beta because right here you'll have a big blue box that says beta. I guess it's not really big, it's little. but you do have a blue box that says beta. Now, I do want to just give you a quick little overview just in case you didn't watch the pre-tour video. You do have some things up here at the top that can be kind of helpful. So this is your project name, and if you save it, you can change your project name, your undo and your redo buttons. And then you have your save, which is how you save your project, your My Stuff, which will get you to your uploaded images, your projects. You have subscriber deals, which if you click that, it'll take you to the Cricut website where you can find their materials, and the make button, which is how you go to create your project. Now, I feel like a lot of people miss stuff up here at the very top. So you have these 3 dots right here, and this is where you can actually open a new window and quit Cricut Design Space. You also have view options where you can reload your whole design space. You can force a reload. So if Design Space is being silly and it's not working, you can force it to reload, and you can toggle the full screen. So if for some reason you weren't using the full screen on your computer, you can. And then they have this help one where you can help, contact member care. They have videos that they've created, and you can find some information about Design Space. Now, what's funny is they also have this help button here, which is going to lead you to how-to videos, cheat sheets, what's new, report a bug, which we could do for the text. You have the online help center and the contact member care. Now, I do want to remind you that with member care, a lot of the people that work there do not know Cricut like a lot of us in the actual Cricut community do. Most of them have never touched a Cricut in their lives and are just given a script where they click through based on your answers, and then they give you answers based on that, which may not always fix your problem because they don't always know how to fix it. Then right here is where you're going to see whether you're in beta or live. And then this is where you can select your Cricut machines. So I have all my machines here, and that's where you can select your machines. Now you also have this little question-y guy down here, and you can ask Cricut AI questions, and it can try to help you. I've tried it a couple times. It's not fantastic. The next one you have is this notification button. And for me, mine pretty much notifies me when somebody follows me, but it will also give you notifications based on if there's a new update or maybe they have a sale. You can turn those on and off. I'll show you how in a minute. And then you have a shopping cart. So if you're using it for DTFs, it'll show up. Now, if you want to fix your notifications, you can go right here under notifications and see that. And then you can go to settings. Now, under settings, it will tell you like all these things. I obviously have mine turned off because I just don't care. But it's got like when others like a project you made, when a project inspired by yours is shared, when someone follows you, when someone you follow shares a project, when someone you follow shares an image, tutorials, how-tos, and cheat sheets. Those will only be from Cricut. Limited time discounts, offers, and coupons, again, only from Cricut. Content inspiration, Cricut. I have new features, products, and updates on, and then you have survey opportunities or disable all app notifications. I like to have those 2 on, but otherwise, I don't really care. Now, this is all under those settings under your name. So again, under general is where you can change from beta to live. Got a couple other settings here, languages, save for offline use, and the information about what Cricut you're running, like which version. Then for content, you can turn on or off mature content because there are some that have like swear words and stuff in them. I've never seen anything like violent or disturbing on here, but you can turn those on or off. So maybe if you're like working with your kids and you don't want them to see any of that, you can hide it. And then you can always bring it back later. Now under here, we have all of our machines, which is where you're going to do things like update your firmware, do machine calibrations, update custom material settings, and then you can remove machines that you no longer own. That one is new, and I love that, and I think that's great. I do still own all of these machines, which I know seems insane, but I do have all of these machines. Although I just don't understand. I've got the Maker 3 7C45, but then BC5F8. They're the exact same machine, so I don't know what that's about, but whatever. You can also turn on automatically connecting and turn it off. Your canvas is where you can turn on your grid, change your units of measurement, your operation types, and you can snap to a line. I hate that. I turn it off. Load type is great because you can tell it like your defaults for each of your machines. So you can go through and tell it, okay, I'm going to be on my Explorer 5. I'm going to always default to on matte, and I'm going to keep my print and cut size at the 8.5 by 11. Now I'm going to turn mine back to none because I don't want to change that. Then again, you've got your notifications, and under your system, it just tells you information about like your operating system, the resources that it's using, and then any third-party license information. So really a handy little section, but I always just like to show that to you when I give you a tour. Now, I also want to point out that you can close your layers panel by just hitting that X. And if you want to bring it back, because I know a lot of people were like, oh my God, my layers panel's missing. It's not. Just click these three little like squares that are on top of each other, and you can bring it right back in. So again, you can easily close it and bring it right back in. It's really easy to do. Now, like I said, they've moved a lot of stuff around. Things are a lot different on beta. So if you're using the beta, the other tour may be a little behind the times. Again, easily find everything, but I do like to point out where stuff is just to help you out, because I know not everybody has the time to really like look, or it can also be very, very confusing. Now, if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments down below. I'm always happy to answer those for you. Be sure you're subscribed here on YouTube. That way you don't miss out on any fun, crafty content we have coming. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and as always, happy crafting.